I am a somnambulist, a somnambulizer, a somna...
Say it.
Sleepwalker. Somnambulism is a fancy word for sleepwalking. Ew, why? Well, it's actually really cool and really interesting, so you better listen to the whole thing. Mwah. When you're initially falling asleep, you start the sleep cycle. In a typical sleep cycle, your body will settle and release these chemicals that have a paralyzing effect. This is so that when you're dreaming, your body won't really move, except for your eyes. And that starts the REM cycle, or the dream phase. It's called the REM cycle because REM stands for rapid eye movement, and that's because when you're dreaming, your eyes actually follow the dream. Isn't that cool? Shit up. So then you sleep until a little bit before you wake up. The REM cycle ends, which means your dreams stop and the paralyzing effects were off, and that means you're awake. Good morning. Now for dumb bodies like mine, the paralyzing effect can sometimes be shorter than the dream cycle, which means my body is free to move while I'm still dreaming. This is usually caused by a chemical imbalance that's messing up the dosage going to my brain. So the most common reason is high serotonin levels, which most of you will know as the feel-good, slappy, make daddy happy chemical.
Oh, yes, Daddy.
But serotonin actually has a bunch of functions in your body, and one of those other big ones is sleep. Most people have more serotonin as a kid, and those levels decrease as you get older, which is why most people grow out of sleepwalking. However, if you experience a lot of stress, your body might trigger extra serotonin while you're trying to sleep because it's trying to give you more rest. That extra boost of serotonin causes you to have good dreams, but can also sometimes overdose you on the story make you dream stuff. So in short, when your chemicals get all bunked, that can throw off your sleep juice, and that's why some people sleepwalk. Nerd! Say that shit again. Say that shit again! Another cool thing is that the opposite chemical imbalance, so too much paralyzing chemical, not enough dream juice, is what causes sleep paralysis.
Hi, sisters!
Or it could be that demon in the corner of your room, but who knows? I've been a sleepwalker since I was a little kid, because all this stuff is just fucked. It's a mess, really. By that I mean I've always been super anxious and high-strung, but I was already a really weird kid. No, not because of that, but that's weird too. Around the time I was 6, me and my brothers went to go live on a horse ranch with my grandparents for a while. It was isolated and beautiful, and I have a lot of stories from there, but it probably wasn't as fun for my grandparents. You see, I used to do this thing where I would walk super light-footed, and it wasn't fully intentional, but I remember I would never step on spots on the floor that creaked because I was always scared that they were gonna fall in or something. And I was scared of getting splinters, so I would hop carpet to carpet. That all meant that it was super hard to tell where I was walking or if I was standing right next to you. Oh yeah, and if that wasn't creepy enough, I like to just watch people. You know, just stare. And I never really spoke as a kid. Not that I couldn't, I just didn't. Because of that, my grandmother made me a bracelet with a bell attached to it, and I was told to wear it everywhere I went so I'd stop scaring people. How well do you think that worked? One day, I had gotten bored playing by myself because my brothers weren't letting me have a turn on the GameCube, and I went looking for something to do.
Oh, they forgot there. You cheater.
Oh my god, where are you? Oh. I swear, I didn't mean to scare her at all. I heard my grandmother singing, so I went upstairs to stare at her, but when I scared her, she scared me. I practically threw myself down the stairs, and I remember feeling so embarrassed that I stood up immediately to pretend I wasn't hurt, and I was in so much pain I could barely walk. I don't understand how my grandma didn't go full
Garlic! A mirror! Holy water!
on me, because thinking of the story now from her perspective, it must have been so terrifying. And the suckiest part is that's not even the worst one. This video is about sleepwalking. Huh? Way? Way? We're dying tonight. I genuinely think the only reason she didn't have me exercise was because of my granddad. Anytime I was being too weird or too childish or too creepy, my granddad was always the one who would come and find me to make sure that I was okay. Okay. I think the horses like you the best. Really? I want to be a horse when I grow up. No, you don't. I do. Nah. I do. I might just feed you to one. Another time I was super creepy. It had been a couple of years and we ended up moving into a suburb. At this point, everyone knew about my sleepwalking. So to try to counteract it, I was given a loft bed. But yeah, that's fine. Mostly I just stayed in my own room, or sometimes I wanted to get like water or to the bathroom, but mostly it wasn't a problem. Until one time, I woke up because I was really cold. This time, I managed to walk myself outside. I'm in so much trouble. I tried going to a few houses for help, but nobody would answer because it turns out it was 3 a.m. when I was doing this, so most people were asleep, but even if they weren't, there's no way that they're answering it to a creepy-ass little kid with long black hair and a nightdress. So I start walking in a general direction, and I'm surrounded by trees, and there are barely any houses, and I realized I have no idea where I am. At one point, this truck drives up next to me. It drove by me really slowly, so I was able to see inside, and it was a grown man with a cowboy hat on. And he looked horrified. So since I'm 10, all I could think was, why is he so scared? So as he's passing me, I started running, and the car speeds off, so I was like, oh shit, why is he scared? But imagine you see a creepy-ass little kid at 3 a.m., and they start running after your car. Ugh. So I kept running for who knows how long, and eventually I see flashing lights down the street from me, and they're police lights. And as I'm walking closer, I see this one grown man officer, and I stopped. And I fully, completely considered running away because in my head, again, I'm 10, I was thinking I'm gonna be in so much trouble for being out this late. But then my parents steps out and they see me and they just started sprinting towards me. Oh my God, is this parental love? And it's gone. So they scooped me up and started walking us back. We got inside and wrapped up everything with the officers. And finally, once everyone's left, they shut the door. And my parent turned around and asked me, "What were you doing?" And all I say is, I really have to pee. Oh my God. So apparently, the guy that drove past me had called the police, freaking out, explaining that he saw a little kid walking by themselves. So they sent an officer out, and as they were patrolling, they saw our front door wide open. So that's already really creepy. So the officer goes up and bangs on the door frame, and that ends up waking up my parent, and they come out super confused. So my parent books it upstairs, freaking out, and they burst into my room, and I'm not there. And this is so scary. My parent told me that they got this weird feeling and they looked down the street and they saw me frozen, staring at them. And they didn't think it was actually me because of how scary it was. But then they took me inside and then I peed. And I never did anything creepy ever again. I do still sleepwalk every once in a while, but it's really harmless stuff like going to the bathroom or going to sleep at my desk, which I do a lot. Oh, I did wake up with my shoes on once. However, my big brother says that he heard something super creepy the other night, like someone whispering at the stairs to his room, but I think he just heard me watching TikToks. No, it was a demon, or you whispering at the top of my stairs. Nuh-uh. I will lay you down in a coffin if you ever do that shit again. That is the end of the video. Thank you so much for staying all the way through. If you guys didn't already check it out, we have merch. Isn't that so cool? It's my face. It's me. I'm sorry for the delay on this video, but thank you so much for being patient for it, and you can expect the next one within 2 weeks. Otherwise, I'll die. Not really, but I really want to upload on a schedule, and I have all these goals for this year, and I just want you guys to be there to see them. Woo! So we're gonna get on a schedule, and if you like it, I wonder if I'm actually pointing at anything. Not to be savvy, but thank you to everyone who's, found me and stuck with me. It's very kind of you. But anyways, I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye!
Such a perfect day. I'm glad I spent it with you. Oh, such a